Look at Italy on any given day, and you see a global titan of style, culture, and engineering. It is the birthplace of legendary automotive powerhouses, world-class fashion houses, and high-precision manufacturing. It remains the third largest economy in the European Union and the eighth largest in the world. Yet beneath this impressive surface lies one of the most baffling mysteries in modern macroeconomics. For over 25 years, Italy's economy has essentially stood completely still. While the rest of the developed world navigated technological revolutions, industrial shifts, and economic booms, Italy got caught in an invisible standstill. How did a country with world-class craftsmen, immense private wealth, and a long tradition of innovation hit a permanent brick wall? Did it simply run out of momentum, or is its economic foundation slowly giving way? Welcome back to Moveconomy. Today, we are unlocking the Italian economic trap, from the hidden divide that splits the nation in two, to the currency gamble that backfired, and the crushing weight of debt choking one of Europe's oldest industrial powerhouses. To understand why Italy stopped growing, you first have to realize that Italy isn't really a single, unified economy. It is two vastly different worlds operating within one single border. Up in the north, you have one of the most productive industrial hearts on the planet. Regions like Lombardy and Veneto generate more wealth and export more manufactured goods than many entire European nations. This northern engine isn't driven by giant conglomerates, but by a dense web of specialized, family-owned mid-sized businesses, known locally as piccole e medie imprese. These companies quietly dominate high-end global markets, from precision packaging machinery to advanced chemical synthesis and specialized auto parts. Then you look south to the Mezzogiorno. For decades, the southern regions have struggled with persistent underdevelopment, weak infrastructure, a large informal market, and youth unemployment rates that frequently top 30%. This creates a massive economic drag. The hyper-productive north generates impressive trade surpluses, but a huge portion of that revenue must be constantly redirected to support safety nets, regional transfers, and public administration in the south. Instead of the north pulling the south forward, the entire nation remains locked in an endless financial tug-of-war. So how did Italy manage to flourish in the 1970s and 80s despite this deep internal split? It relied on a clever monetary safety valve, the Italian lira. Whenever Italian goods began losing their competitive edge against foreign rivals, the Italian central bank would simply step in and devalue the currency. Overnight, Italian machinery, footwear, and cars became remarkably cheap for foreign buyers. Exports would surge, factories would stay busy, and the country kept moving. It was an easy fix, but it acted like an addictive painkiller. Devaluing the currency masked underlying weaknesses like sluggish innovation and heavy bureaucracy, without ever actually solving them. Then came 1999 and the birth of the euro. By joining the single currency, Italy permanently surrendered its devaluation weapon. All at once, Italian manufacturers were forced to compete head-to-head using the exact same currency as hyper-efficient German factories. Without the ability to make its currency cheaper, Italy had only one path left to stay competitive. It had to dramatically boost its domestic productivity through bold structural reforms, modernized regulations, and technology. That shift never took off. Over the next 2 decades, while productivity in Germany grew by over 20% and in the United States by over 40%, Italy's productivity growth remained completely flat. Trapped in a strong currency without the efficiency to back it up, Italian exports gradually grew too expensive for global markets. As productivity stalled out, a massive financial burden was piling up in the background: national debt. Today, Italy owes more than 2.8 trillion euros, a mountain of debt representing roughly 135% of its entire economic output. This heavy debt load triggers a damaging economic chain reaction known as the crowding out effect. Every single year, the Italian government is forced to direct tens of billions of euros away from the economy just to cover interest payments on what it already owes. At the same time, a rapidly aging population requires an ever larger chunk of tax revenue to fund public pensions. Think about what this looks like in practice. Capital that should be expanding high-speed 5G networks and digital infrastructure gets swallowed by debt interest. Funds that should be nurturing tech startups or university research centers get diverted into the pension fund. Public investment ground to a halt. Italy found itself financially boxed in, unable to spend the money needed to build the very growth that could pay down its debt. To make matters worse, Italy is now fighting a quiet demographic crisis. The nation has one of the lowest birth rates and one of the oldest populations anywhere on Earth. Elementary classrooms are shutting down in small towns, while the ratio of retired citizens to active workers is reaching a dangerous tipping point. This is compounded by a devastating brain drain. Because many Italian businesses operate in high-tax, low-productivity environments, starting salaries for skilled young professionals have barely moved in 20 years. Facing rigid hiring practices and limited career progression, many of the brightest young minds choose a different path. Every year, tens of thousands of Italian engineers, doctors, software developers, and researchers pack their bags and head for Germany, Switzerland, the UK, or the United States. Italy footed the bill for their education, only to watch competitor nations harvest their talent and productivity for free. So, is Italy destined to become a living economic museum, or can it turn the tide? The challenge is undeniably steep, but the country is far from helpless. As the largest recipient of the European Union's post-pandemic recovery funds, Italy has access to nearly 200 billion euros in grants and loans. It is a rare chance to rebuild its economic foundation. To break out of the trap, the country needs to focus on three vital transformations. First, it must overhaul its legal and administrative system. Civil court cases in Italy often take years longer to clear than in neighboring countries. Streamlining the courts and slashing red tape is the single most effective way to restore confidence and attract foreign investment. Second, it needs to help its small businesses scale up. Italy's craft culture is world-renowned, but micro-businesses struggle to compete in an era dominated by global tech and AI supply chains. Incentivizing smaller firms to merge, modernize, and adopt automation will give them the muscle to compete globally. Finally, it must invest heavily in keeping its young talent. By cutting taxes on youth employment and creating aggressive tax incentives for skilled workers to return from abroad, Italy can stem the flow of brain drain and revitalize its workforce. Italy isn't facing a sudden financial collapse. As a core member of the Eurozone, it remains far too big to fail, backed by the financial umbrella of the European Central Bank. The true danger is a long, comfortable drift into economic nostalgia, a nation with incredible private wealth and a rich history, but one that gradually loses the ability to offer a bright future to its next generation. The ingenuity is still there. The industrial heart is still beating. The real question is whether Italy can break free from its economic shackles in time to lead once again. What do you think? Did joining the euro help or hinder economies like Italy over the long run? And can large-scale reforms truly save Europe's aging powerhouses? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. If you enjoyed deep macroeconomic analyses like this, give this video a like. Hit subscribe to Moveconomy and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching Moveconomy, and we'll see you in the next story.